Stegosaurus?
A lot of dinosaur talk tonight, and you would think with all this talk they would understand Jurassic Park. Nobody understood Jurassic Park.
That's really...
History will look kindly on that joke. I have no doubt.
Thank you.
One of the longest episodes ever. My bad.
What a great show. What an amazing show. A lot of people say this is one of the best shows that's ever happened. Probably the best show. I'm not tired or have to piss incredibly bad. I'll tell you what, when you have to pee and that guy's fucking screaming, it really hurts. So, wrap it up, please.
Yeah. How about a hand for the President of the United States, Donald Trump? You can cut the fucking music. Hell yeah, that's amazing. Wow. Welcome back, Mr. President.
Tony, it's so good to be here back in... Back here in New York City. What a city. What a beautiful city. What an absolute disaster this city has become. White homeless. Do you believe it? White homeless. When I lived here, there were black homeless and nobody cared. Everybody said, that's fine. Now there's a crisis because now homeless are white. Do you believe what's happening?
Kamala Harris might become the first Indian American president. And Elizabeth Warren is like, it could have been me. Kamala Harris is so bad at fake laughing, I thought she was at one of my shows.
Sonny, I'm sweating like a motherfucker up here, but it is so nice to be here. Trump and Biden, so nice to see y'all tonight.
It's great to see you, and what a performance from this guy. We love this guy. What he said about Kamala was so true. She'd be a disastrous pig. That's what she would be. What a loser she is. She should be a bucket pool. She could come up here and we could make fun of her for being a pig.
After the show, I actually overdosed my brother last night, so my mom's flying in tonight, the whole family's getting in tonight, but yeah, really exciting.
When'd she get in? Amazing.
Why did you ask that, you fat piece of shit? You look as nasty as ever. I thought maybe in Madison Square Gardens you'd look a little better, but you look as nasty as ever, dumbass, so don't say anything to me, you fucking idiot, seriously.
I don't know what your mom gets.
That's it.
What?
Now that's how you talk to an opponent. You strike them down immediately. He tried to talk to you. You said, "You're a fat pig."
Yeah.
What a guy! This guy's great. You should be my VP.
Think about it. I would love to run it.
Yeah, let's think about it.
Have you ever fucked a couch?
I actually have. I do it every week. I actually do.
There's nothing wrong with that. But
I agree.
Amazing.
Being a beatboxer is weird. It's kind of like being a Civil War reenactor, because your friends are happy you have a hobby, but no one wants to see it in person. One of my friends told me, he was like, I like it when you beatbox. It cheers me up. You should do it for other people to cheer them up. I was like, I don't know if that's how it works, you know? Like my other friend would be like, dude, Sarah broke up with me. I'm gonna be like, bro, that's terrible. Man, she cheated on you?
It seems like you wanted to beatbox more than you wanted to do stand-up.
It's a lot more fun with the beatboxing. It's pretty fun.
Is it?
And I've worked with special needs kids before.
nice.
Wow. Are the special needs kids in a mirror?
Working with special needs kids, that's what you call whacking off, isn't it?
What do you do for a living?
Unemployed, yeah, give me $1.
And that is a problem. There is very high unemployment amongst the...
The what, the tall?
Go ahead, say it.
The blacks, and we're gonna get them back to work. We're gonna get them working again. Remember when they worked? Sometimes they worked for...
Uh-oh. He's loading up something here.
I gotta be honest. I thought there would be more people here.
Now, Aaron, let me say this. Aaron was totally healthy in 2020 and normal guy, big guy, great guy, and this disastrous administration has crumpled him up. Now he's crumpled. A lot of people have been crumpled here. No more crumpling, please.
I will take responsibility for that. We took some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ooze and we dumped it on Aaron's head when he was sleeping.
Aaron, how do you feel about being here with all these grades?
Can you all fucks shut up?
Slam.
Boom.
I admire Trump. One day I hope I have the chutzpah to cheat on my wife at my golf club with my floppy orange cock.
Wow.
Got him.
Crumpled and liberal. What a Canadian disaster you are.
Okay, Brian Oyola, welcome to the show, Brian.
Hey, look at you! Floors by day, student by night. PT by dawn, Dean's List by dusk. Always powered by Penn State World Campus. With more than 175 in-demand programs, Penn State World Campus delivers. On your time.
You're being fantastic, Tony.
Yeah.
Now this is what's coming up through the border under this guy. And this isn't just one of them, he's a coyote. There's about 3 or 4 in there. A real piñata he's gonna break open, and a family of 5 is gonna come running out. He's a Mexican nesting doll, and they've got a lot of them coming right up here. I hope he's Mexican and not Indian. I could be wrong.
You play video games?
I used to, not anymore.
What happened? What happened?
I'm too busy.
With what?
Trying to make it.
Make what?
Make it in this tough world.
Make origami? Make what? Make what? Make pasta?
Make some rice and beans, you know?
Oh my God.
Okay.
All
There you
right.
go. Your scrambled eggs are ready.
That's good racism. We like that. You should have done that during your set. Be very racist and these people will love you. They will reward you.
Love it. How old are you?
I'm 29.
29. Do you really do heroin?
I used to.
Okay. How'd you get off? How'd you quit?
Well, one day, the last thing, I got into a lot of car accidents when I was on heroin.
Yeah.
The funny part is, it was never when I was on heroin, I was on Xanax or withdrawing.
Totally.
Wait a minute.
You're a heroin addict and you had a car? I don't believe that.
Yeah, if I had
That's the first thing that goes with heroin, the car.
This was when the economy was booming. Even the heroin guys had cars and they were driving, and we liked to have them drive. They fell asleep at red lights, and we got to wake them up. We'd say, "What are you doing here?"
I have a story about last night. I was here last night in the comedic section. I didn't buy a ticket. I got out of here. I was pretty fucked up. I was hanging out with a bunch of people. I was drunk as hell. I ran into some homeless woman. She was offering Xanax. Gave her 20 bucks, got 2 Xanax. I got pretty fucked up. And then on my way home, I don't know what happened. I think I was checking this guy's girl out. He started arguing with me. I started arguing back. We got into a fight. I threw him on the floor. I punched him in the face. And then his girlfriend started choking me out.
Well, okay, where's the good part of this story, bud?
Well, she bit me.
Oh, yeah.
And then I spent last night in a precinct after the show last night.
Awesome, dude.
All the fun of...
Awesome,
all the trouble
man.
of still doing heroin without any of the fun.
Wow.
Does this sound like somebody you know? This sounds like Little Hunter Biden. He's back and he's getting bitten by whores in the night.
I am a chubby chaser. I do have to say it's not too much of a chase. You have some snacks, you're good. Okay, which one of the presidents is gonna grant me a visa, huh?
Oh, I think I know which one.
The way you treated fat women was beautiful, and we love that. We want fat women to be very happy. We like them, but should they vote? I don't know. What are your thoughts on women voting?
Well, you know, it's an interesting concept.
I am a child of nepotism. My father was a New York State assemblyman, and then, found myself in a job.
Bragging rights.
That's the way the world works, people.
A lot of government up here.
Look at Donald Trump Jr., right?
What'd you? Don't ever fucking talk about my son. Ever. Ever. What are you doing here? I thought I drone striked you years ago. I found this creature. He was in a cave. I said, get rid of him. We would have all been saved tonight from those absolutely embarrassing jokes. What a loser this guy is. Have you ever seen Jurassic Park?
Yes. I say Jurassic Park.
What a film, what an amazing film.
It's not bad.
It's been lost. It's a lost world now. A lot of people haven't seen it. People don't get it when you make great, some of the best jokes about Jurassic Park. A lot of people say it was one of the better jokes, and that's that. That's the end of that.
By the way, if Kamala wins, we will make crayons big enough to fit inside your cock comfortably. You have my word.
He's got my vote. What a guy.
What a disgusting promise. We don't want this. No one here wants this. We want colored pencils in this guy's penis. We need that.
You can't say colored pencils anymore, Donald.
Black pencils, the blackest pencils. Pens, we call them pens. We call black people pens now. That's a new fun racist thing I came up with just now. And please don't actually do that. I regret this. My bad.
Thank you.
What sort of, hey, you got some tattoos. What do you got?
I got a lot of random ones.
What do you got? What do you got? What's the most random?
Who's the guy on your leg?
I got a couple of guys on there.
Yeah, who that's the question. Who
Oh,
are they?
they're gangsters, like mobsters.
Wow.
Yeah,
Like the Foot Clan?
kind of like that. Yeah, Italian Foot Clan.
Well, who is it really?
Really, you want me to name them out?
Rat.
No rat. Oh, Donald. No rats.
Oh my God.
I'm joking. We love the Italians. We love the Italians. Even though a lot of them are pens.
Absolutely incredible, Cam. You have done it again. I'm gonna go to our presidents here. What do you guys think about that abortion-esque set?
Abortion is absolutely disgusting, and I've had several. And when someone else does it, I go, hold on a second, that's illegal. When I do it, I go, hey, what would you do? You would do it. Everybody does it. We kind of all love abortion, and I don't. It is disgusting. It's a sin.
Me neither. I hate them.
But if you have to do it, you do it. You know?
What do you do for a living? How do you make money?
I am a news reporter.
Oh, you really are a news
Yeah,
reporter.
I work for a tabloid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
It's a fun time.
Which one? Highlights or People Magazine? What do you for who?
Daily Mail.
Wow.
All right.
Yikes.
What's the latest? What? Hey, shut the fuck up for a second. What's the latest buzz? What's the latest tea?
Ooh.
It's okay.
I mean, honestly, so much of my day revolves around you two. It's not even funny. You are on in the newsroom 24/7. How's your ear?
Is doing very well. He missed, and we shot him and killed him immediately. And ooh, You like that? That changes the way I thought about you. I thought you were a disgusting bitch until when you cheered there, it excited me, and now I like you. And I thought you did great. Wow, amazing. You talked about fucking, and we love to hear it, don't we? We love to hear the women talk about sex, and we need more female comics to talk about pussies and sex. Thank you.
What's up, Joe Biden, Donald Trump?
What's up, David? Aren't you doing Disney's remake of the Kool-Aid Man?
God damn, Joe is. We're working on it. He's gonna break in. He's gonna break in, and he's gonna drink himself. And
Another amazing fucking Austin comedian. It's crazy what's going on in Austin with Joe Rogan.
Tony, I'd love for you to stop talking about fucking Austin for 1 second. I think it's obvious New York is probably the best, and I will say this. The reason I'm saying this is we don't have absolute cowards like Little Joe Rogan telling us what to do up here. Little Joe, he came in, he said he wants to endorse RFK Jr. Can you believe this? Joe Rogan is an absolute joke and a complete pussy, and if I ever saw him, I would whoop his bitch ass. What a coward. Joe Rogan, complete coward, and it's, frankly, it's an embarrassment to this country. What a guy, what a great guy, what an amazing American this man is, Joe Rogan. What a true patriot, great man. I would never say anything negative about this man. What a guy, what a guy. Everybody agrees this is one of the best guys. We talk about, we say Austin, Texas is great, Joe Rogan is great. Frankly, Joe Rogan is the best, and everyone knows it, and I love RFK. Who doesn't love RFK? He's a great guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump, Shane Gillis.
Yeah, just been trying to find something to watch that's entertaining. But I don't know what to watch.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Perfect.
Media that they
Over in Italy, they're having massive, essentially riots over America's ice.
She made voice messages calling me gay and
JCS inspired.
even if I was gay.
Getting that from YouTube.
Joe.
When did
Stay awake. Found a good video.
Driver! Open the car door! Let me see your hands!
A criminal, murderous operation
They hunted him, they stalked him, they found him, they targeted him, and they gunned him down.
And they brought overwhelming firepower, easily and rapidly establishing not fire superiority, but fire supremacy. We will drag this conspiracy out of the darkness of the early morning hours. We will drag it into this courtroom for everyone to see the truth in this case. The truth will be crystal clear.
What you just watched was a compilation of security footage recovered from the Home 2 Suites Hotel in Tampa, following the gruesome murder of Charles Jones, aka Julio Fulio. When the police arrived shortly after, they quickly located the vehicle Fulio was in, but it was too late. He had sustained multiple gunshot wounds to his legs, chest, and back, and had already succumbed to his injuries. Since the shooters had already fled the scene, the police immediately launched a homicide investigation. When reviewing the security footage leading up to the shooting, a black Chevy Impala entered the west side of the parking lot, parked around the corner from Fulio, and simply sat there. Then, a silver Chevy Cruze entered the parking lot and drove past Fulio's car, before turning around and driving past Fulio again in the opposite direction. They did this twice before exiting the parking lot. The shooters then hopped out of the Impala, bringing us right back to the footage you saw earlier. Following the shooting, the suspects hopped back into the Impala and drove off. After making this discovery, the detectives worked to construct a timeline of Fulio's movements. The timeline began 12 hours earlier, when Fulio posted this story to his Instagram, telling his friends to attend his birthday party at an Airbnb in Tampa. Dozens of people close to Fulio made the 3-hour drive from Jacksonville to Tampa to celebrate with him. The party got a little too wild, and the police shut it down. But the night wasn't over. They continued to a nearby club named Teasers, where Fulio was set to perform as part of his birthday celebrations. The Teasers surveillance camera caught the same Chevy Cruze parking at the back of the lot. 2 people exited the vehicle and walked up to the entrance of the building, but they turned around before getting too close. They then got back into the Chevy Cruze and exited the parking lot. Fulio performed for about 30 minutes, and when he and his friends exited Teasers, the black Impala was outside circling the parking lot. Fulio and his crew then headed to an after-party at the Truth 18 nightclub. The black Impala followed closely behind, parking across the street to remain undetected. Fulio kept his millions of Instagram followers updated throughout the night, completely unaware that he was recording his final moments. While he was partying, the 2 suspects from the Chevy Cruze can be seen casually walking around the Truth 18 parking lot. After a long night, Fulio finally decided to wrap things up at around 4 a.m. He left the nightclub, got into the passenger seat of a Dodge Charger, and headed to the hotel. As we already know, the Chevy Cruze and the Impala showed up shortly after. Thankfully, with all of this high-definition footage, the detectives had a clear description of both vehicles, including their license plates. They didn't recognize the person who owned the Chevy Cruze, but they were familiar with the owner of the Impala, a woman named Damali Lyle. Damali's son, Sean Gaithright, was affiliated with a violent group from Jacksonville, known as ATK. ATK had an ongoing feud with Fulio's crew, known as 6 Block, since around 2017. Both of these groups made rap music, so the drama was often fueled by songs that disrespected each other's crew. Fulio's songs were known to be especially disrespectful. In one of his music videos, he went to the cemetery where ATK members were buried and danced on their graves. Needless to say, ATK was not a fan of Fulio, so between 2017 and 2024, they tried to kill him several times, but failed every attempt. Now that Fulio was actually dead, Sean Gaithright was suspect number 1. Using a highway security camera system known as Flock, the detectives tracked the black Impala's movements from Jacksonville to Tampa before the murder, but it was never captured going back to Jacksonville. Instead, the Flock cameras captured it in Polk County, just outside of Tampa, where Sean's grandmother just so happened to live. The Impala was spotted in her driveway days later. According to Sean's grandma, Sean had told her that it was difficult to get his photography equipment in and out of the Impala, so he needed a bigger vehicle and asked to borrow her Toyota SUV. While this footage was being reviewed, a tan Toyota SUV was pulled over in Jacksonville for speeding, and Sean was the driver. He was told to step outside so they could seize his grandma's car. After patting him down, they conducted a quick search of the vehicle and hit the jackpot. There were Glock magazines, AR-15 components, empty casings, and 9mm ammunition, all aligning with the ballistic evidence at the crime scene. But before they could charge Sean with murder, the evidence needed lab for forensic testing. So he was ultimately free to go. He didn't escape the attention from the officers for long. The next day, a search warrant was executed on his home, and the detectives found an entire arsenal of more guns and ammo. In the kitchen, the sink was filled with shredded cardboard. When they laid the cardboard out, every single piece was firearm-related packaging. They also found 2 9mm casings that matched the ammunition in the SUV. These were collected and sent into the crime lab to be compared with the casings at the crime scene. During the search, the detectives noticed that Sean had several home security cameras. They obtained the footage from them and discovered that the day before the murder, another ATK member named Isaiah Chance, aka Gadaze, showed up at Sean's house. Sean then stepped outside and started clearing a bunch of photography gear from the trunk of his Impala. After about 8 minutes, Sean and Isaiah can be seen loading several bags into the Impala. These are the same bags that were found in his grandma's SUV when he was pulled over. Sean and Isaiah then left the residence in their respective vehicles. At one point, Isaiah returned momentarily to drop something off, and as he grabbed it from the passenger seat, he is seen holding a Glock and tucking it into his waistband. The next day,
What milligram were they? Were they like 100 milligram? And what kind was it? Was it like chocolate or gummies?
after the murder had taken place, an Uber can be seen dropping off Isaiah and 2 more people at Sean's house. One of these people was Rashad Murphy, aka Ghost, another affiliate of ATK. The other person was Alicia Andrews, who had been dating Isaiah on and off for a few years. The detectives now believed that it was Isaiah and Alicia who were stalking Fulio in the Chevy Cruze before the shooting. But this begs the question, if Isaiah and Alicia were in the Chevy Cruze back in Tampa, where is it now? Well, it wasn't long before the flock system spotted the Chevy Cruze near a hotel all the way in Gwinnett County, Georgia. When an officer pulled into the hotel parking lot, the Chevy Cruze was parking in an empty spot. The officer quickly blocked them in so they couldn't drive away. He then got out of his vehicle and ordered the suspect to put his hands up and stay where he was. But instead of complying with the officer's orders, the suspect booked it. The officer pulled out his taser and chased him down, and once he had a clear shot, he took aim and fired. The suspect fell to the ground, and backup arrived to help apprehend him. It was none other than Rashad Murphy. It turns out that the Chevy Cruze was actually owned by Rashad's sister-in-law, who lived out of state, so he likely provided that vehicle for the hit on Fulio, and was on his way to return it. He was detained and thrown into the back of a police cruiser while the authorities seized the Chevy Cruze. However, the only consequence that came out of this encounter was a resisting arrest charge, and he was later released as the homicide investigation continued. When detectives looked inside the Chevy Cruze, they discovered Rashad's cell phone. On the device, the detectives found an Airbnb reservation from June 22nd to June 24th. The Airbnb was a 9-minute drive away from the crime scene. The Ring doorbell footage from this Airbnb confirmed that Isaiah, Alicia, Sean, and Rashad were all in Tampa at the time of the murder. The detectives then decided to look into the suspect's phone records, starting with Alicia. This cracked the case wide open. It turns out that she was the one who originally reached out to the person running the Airbnb through Instagram DMs. Also, her location data showed that her phone had been at every location Fulio was on the night of the murder, erasing any doubt that she was following him in the surveillance footage. They also found out that Alicia was sharing her location with Sean at each of the destinations. Other than the locations that they had followed Fulio, they had also gone to McDonald's in Tampa hours before the murder. In the McDonald's surveillance footage, the Chevy Cruze can be seen at the drive-thru window, and a 5th suspect is in the driver's seat. It was Davion Murphy, Rashad's cousin, another affiliate of ATK. After discovering all of this evidence, the detectives arrested Alicia and brought her into the interrogation room for questioning.
That's some top tier shit.
And so, we're detectives from Tampa, okay? We want to talk to you before we start our spiel, okay? I know that you
really
had a
had me
relationship
slumped.
with Isaiah Chance.
What's up, Blonde? How's it going?
And I know he's probably already
Thanks for
talked to you,
joining.
and probably tried to tell you what to do or what to say, okay? But I want you to understand, all right? In this moment, all right, God isn't in this room, and he can't do anything, to help you in this situation. You have to make that decision for yourself. You know what I mean? I think that, there's a lot of stuff that we have to show you that you would probably want to see, and I'm willing to be as open can be to show you everything that we have. You know what I mean? Because I want you to make an informed decision about your life and where it goes from here. Okay? Is that your own footage?
Yeah.
Okay, can you tell us what's going on here?
Wait, no.
Where are you at in the city?
Isaiah.
Do you remember what town you were in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel that.
That was it? She's super good again?
That's nice.
This Valentine's Day.
Do you come here a lot?
Her heart isn't the only thing.
Is this Dane's little brother?
Caught this bitch right
Do you
now.
know that? Do you know this dude? You never met him.
The detectives knew Alicia was blatantly lying about going to Tampa with just Isaiah and his little brother, Sean. So they showed her the McDonald's drive-thru footage with Davion sitting in the driver's seat.
You remember going to McDonald's while you were in Chicago?
I was hungry.
You hungry? Okay. So that's you in the car?
Yeah.
Okay. Who was driving the car at that time? Was it the little brother that you were referring to? No? So you don't know this guy right here that's driving? Just kind of refresh your memory a little bit. Looking back to McDonald's, that's the gentleman driving. You never met him before? So how did this gentleman join you guys at some point in the evening?
I don't know. I saw him with him.
No, but did he come to the Airbnb? Did you guys pick this guy up somewhere?
I'm just on silence. I'm talking to
Alright, so at the end of the day, guys, if you weren't just on the sidelines, alright, you need to tell us that, right? You didn't necessarily, Isaiah's leading the activities, he's on the phone, he's telling you where to be, right? You're with him by his side, right? But obviously, something big happened that weekend in Tampa, right?
Despite showing her that they had tracked her every move while in Tampa, Alicia continued to play dumb. So the detectives got serious.
But you were at the hotel where Julio was murdered at the exact same time that he was murdered. Okay. And so you're familiar with Zay's old friend Tilly that was shot and killed?
The person the detective is referencing is Antonio Tilley, a deceased member of ATK. Back in October of 2023, someone had put up a $20,000 bounty on Tilley. A man named Jaquan Mills took up this offer, shooting and killing both Tilley and his Uber driver on Kylan Drive in Jacksonville. The reason the detective is bringing this up is that Jaquan had a girlfriend named Diamond Harris. Apparently, Tilley thought he was meeting Diamond on Kylan Drive for a date. In reality, Diamond was working with Jaquan to lure him into their trap.
Now, Diamond was not at the scene. All she did was send a few messages on the phone, okay? She's already been convicted 20 plus years. She's not getting out for decades, and she was even at the scene where Tilly got killed. You understand what I'm saying to you? This is damning evidence. This is high definition footage, okay? You're there. You're there.
Alicia continued to stare nonchalantly at the detective as he tried to reason with her. But there was something they hadn't brought up yet that they believed would make her break. When they were going through Alicia's text messages, they learned that she was pregnant.
Are you excited about being pregnant? You like having a baby at some point? No. No? The charge on this is first degree murder. The sentence is going to be life in prison. It becomes your nursing home. You don't have relationships anymore. You don't have a child. If you have a child in prison, it goes to somebody else. And you don't even get to hold your child. The moment my partner and I walk out of this room, your life changes absolutely forever. And you can never, ever change your path. Don't miss this opportunity to stay your life. I know, y'all. Tell me I'm lying. You don't want to live with this, okay? You don't sure shit don't want to live with this in a box the size of this room for 30 years. For 30 years.
No matter what the detective said, Alicia continued to deny any involvement and acted offended when the detective said she was lying. Despite the detectives talking big about Alicia being locked up forever, she was free to go for now while they waited for the crime lab results. Those results came in about a month after the shooting in July of 2024. It was determined that the weapons in the Toyota SUV were the same weapons fired at the crime scene, and the 9mm casings found at Sean's house came from the same gun that killed Julio Fulio. On July 27, 2024, police strategically planned an operation to arrest 3 of their suspects, Sean, Alicia, and Isaiah.
Driver! Open the car door! Let me see your hands! Step on out! Back up to the side of my voice! Keep coming! Keep coming! Keep coming! Keep coming! Walk back to me!
Isaiah Cam, this is Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. We have a warrant for your arrest.
Put your hands up! Alright, slowly walk toward me! Let's go! Keep coming! Keep coming! Keep coming! Keep coming! Keep coming! Stop! Stop! Turn around! Keep your hands up, turn around! Don't reach for your waist. Keep your hands behind your back. Stay there. Don't move. Keep walking. Keep walking. Now turn around. Put your hands behind your back.
These 3 suspects were transported to Hillsborough County and booked into jail. And at their arraignment hearings, they all pled not guilty. As for Rashad and Davion Murphy, police were unable to locate them, and they were considered fugitives of justice. They were eventually able to track Rashad down to an apartment complex of a woman he was seeing. They had a standoff for an hour, demanding Rashad exit the building, but after throwing tear gas into the apartment, Rashad finally surrendered, with his Bible in his hand and his Yorkie by his side.
Keep going. Come on towards me.
He and his tiny dog were apprehended, escorted to the back of a cruiser, and taken to the county jail. Rashad also ended up pleading not guilty, and as legal proceedings continued for the suspects in custody, Davion was nowhere to be found. But eventually, in January of 2025, 6 months after Fulio's death, the police kicked down the door of an apartment in Jacksonville and successfully caught Davion, who smiled for the camera following his arrest. Just like everyone else, Davion pled not guilty. All 5 of Fulio's murder suspects were finally in custody and charged with premeditated first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder. But the work wasn't over. Authorities continued to gather evidence throughout the legal proceedings in order to build a bulletproof case against each of the defendants. What makes this job easier is that members of ATK are extremely active on social media and have a tendency to brag about the crimes they commit. Just 20 minutes after Fulio was killed, Rashad Murphy posted laughing emojis to his Instagram. Later that day, he also posted a clip of football superstar Tom Brady and his coach Bill Belichick celebrating. This was around the same time that he used Sean's phone to text somebody saying, "I'm coming home, my thirst is quenched. Pop a bottle of Don Julio today." Murphy. Isaiah Chance joined in as well, posting a picture of Bill Belichick with a raising hands emoji. 4 hours after the homicide, another ATK member posted a story saying, "If it ain't no Don Julio, don't pass me no bottle." These are just some of the many posts made by ATK members disrespecting Julio after his death. But the most flagrant celebration came from the leader of ATK himself, Youngin Ace. The same day that Julio died, Ace posted a music video for a song called Do It, which his listeners interpret as a diss track about Julio's death. He then posted another music video hours later called Game Over. On October 22nd, 2025, the first person to go to trial was Alicia Andrews.
These co-conspirators hatched this murderous plot not minutes, not hours, but days before this, with one common agreed upon goal: death, violence, and murder.
The prosecutors were still aiming for a first-degree murder conviction, but the jury also had the option to find her guilty of the lesser charge of manslaughter. Although Alicia wasn't one of the shooters, the prosecutors said that according to the law, as long as she intended for Julio to be killed and helped in some way to make that happen, she should be found guilty of first-degree murder.
This attack hinged on the element of surprise. And to have that type of surprise, they had to act with a coordinated knowledge, and they needed intelligence. They needed real-time information. Where is he? What's his route? It was that intelligence, that real-time surveillance and communication, the locations and routes that were provided by this defendant and her boyfriend, Isaiah Chance.
To support their claim that Alicia was intentionally stalking Julio and giving the shooters intel, they took the jury through all of the surveillance footage and digital evidence from her phone. The defense, however, said that none of this evidence proved that Alicia knew Julio was going to be killed. They claimed that she was just tagging along with Isaiah and didn't ask any questions when all of his friends showed up.
On the weekend, Charles Jones was killed. Alicia Andrews was on a weekend trip with her boyfriend, with only one agenda: to be with her boyfriend. Alicia Andrews is not in the game. Alicia Andrews is not a part of the drill rap culture, nor the drill rap scene. You will not find DNA, fingerprints, no physical evidence whatsoever linking Alicia Andrews to this case.
They then tried to discredit the lead detective in this case, pointing out his lack of experience as a homicide detective.
We're here because of the perception of the facts of one man, Detective Juan Ramos. But ladies and gentlemen of the jury, perception is not reality. Detective Juan Ramos had only worked homicide for about 4 months when he got this case. His first time as a lead detective on the case, and he lands perhaps one of the biggest homicide cases that the Tampa Police Department has seen in a while. And we're going to talk about Alicia's reality.
The defense.
Grand Central Bowl, arcade and sports bar is the place to catch every play on the big screens. Enjoy craft beer and game day eats, then keep the fun rolling with bowling and arcade games. Grand Central Bowl, arcade and sports bar, where Portland goes to play.
Step aboard the world's most luxurious fleet.
This is the engagement ring that will stop your scroll. Design it yourself at Chain Company. Go with the natural elongated cushion cut diamond, pair it with this stunning setting, then...
The defense then went into Alicia's backstory, saying that she was in beauty school to become an esthetician and working as a substitute teacher on the side when she started dating Isaiah Chance. They claimed that she didn't know he was part of ATK. She just thought he was a rapper and got his stage name Gutta tattooed to her chest to support his music career. But apparently, as their relationship developed, Isaiah became abusive towards Alicia. According to the defense, if Alicia made Isaiah upset, she would face heavy consequences. Everything Alicia did leading up to the murder was due to Isaiah's controlling nature, and Alicia's only agenda was to go along with whatever he wanted to do. This included reaching out to book the Airbnb, walking around outside of the clubs where Julio was at, and letting Isaiah use her phone throughout the night.
When Isaiah Chance says, give me the phone, it's in her best interest to give him the phone. Everybody's coordinated, dressed in black, covered from head to toe, all of them except Alicia. No evidence whatsoever suggesting that Alicia Andrews was on some surveillance mission.
During the trial, 35 state witnesses were called to the stand, outlining all of the evidence we presented to you in this video. Although it was clear that the prosecution had built a strong case against Alicia, the defense was able to successfully plant seeds of doubt into the jurors' minds. For example, when cross-examining lead detective Juan Ramos, they cornered him into admitting that there was no direct evidence that Alicia had any prior knowledge of the murder plan. They also pointed out that Alicia wasn't at Sean Gaithwright's house at the time that the weapons were being loaded into the Impala, and there was no evidence of her having an ongoing relationship with any of the shooters, just her boyfriend Isaiah. Additionally, they highlighted several moments during Alicia's police interview to dismantle the claim that she was deceiving anybody.
Talk about what you want to talk about, and I talk about what you don't want to listen.
And he tells her, talk about what you want to talk about, and you don't have to talk about what you don't want to talk about. Is that correct?
That is what he said.
All right. When you asked Alicia Andrews who her boyfriend was and if it was Gutta, she says yes, right?
Her initial response there, yes, correct.
All right. So she's not trying to hide or pretend like she doesn't know who Gutta is. She answered your question truthfully.
At that moment, yes.
All right. Have you ever seen a text message in her phone where she's talking to Isaiah Chance and she calls him Gutta?
Her phone has the word Gutta in it many times.
Right, but when she's talking to him, does she call him Gutta in any text messages?
I can't recall the specific text message where she sent to him calling him Gutta.
Right. When you asked her who all went down to Tampa with you, she said, I don't know them people. Is that correct?
Something along those lines, yes, that's what I heard.
All right. Did she know those people before she met them, when she went down there?
At very minimal, she spent a 3-hour car ride with Mr. Gaithwright on the way down to Tampa, and she admitted that she had been to his house before for some kind of gathering. So that was evidence that she knew Mr. Gaithwright. So that's one of the people that she said, the only person she said she was there with.
Is there any evidence that she knew David Murphy?
No.
Or Rashad Murphy?
Not that I found.
And the knowledge that she had of Sean Gaithwright is one time she went to his house and got a plate of food and left.
That's from her statement.
At the time that he and Alicia Andrews would have been around each other, he had long hair. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And you showed her a picture of Sean Gaithwright with short hair.
That's the only photo I had.
Right.
In one final effort to convince the jury of their client's innocence, the defense called Alicia herself to the stand.
Did you know that Charles Jones was going to die on June 23rd of 2024?
No, I did not.
She went into detail about the grip Isaiah had on her due to his abusive tendencies.
In the beginning, it was good, I would say. But then he changed over time with me. Once we got comfortable with each other, he started to be a little more controlling. Like as I got older and I would want to go out, he didn't like that. Like he would tell me what to post, what not to post, or if he didn't want me to take something down, or don't wear this, don't wear that.
Did Isaiah Chance ever put his hands on you?
Yes, back in like 2021, we were arguing over the phone. Like he wanted my phone and I wouldn't give it to him. That was the first time he ever like snatched it and he ended up hitting me.
According to Alicia, Isaiah had even hit her just days before the murder because he got jealous about her talking to one of her guy friends.
He drove me to like a park and he stopped and he was like, let me see your phone. And I said no. But he ended up grabbing it. He was telling me to unlock it and I wouldn't unlock it. And that's when he repeatedly hit me to unlock the phone.
This incident left Alicia with her eyes bruised and her phone screen cracked. This is just one of the several examples the defense showcased of what would happen if Alicia questioned something Isaiah asked her to do. Alicia then gave her perspective of the trip to Tampa. Isaiah suggested that they go to Tampa as a way to make up for hitting her, and his little brother, Sean, would be taking along. As they picked up more of Isaiah's friends along the way, Alicia didn't question who these people were or why they were picking them up in order to avoid any backlash from Isaiah. Since Isaiah was the only person she knew, she stuck to him the entire trip and let him use her phone whenever he asked. At no point did he mention wanting...
That one's cool. Hey, thank you. Appreciate that. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah. Makes me want to rewatch that one movie, Madagascar, I think.
to kill Julio Fulio, or that a plan to kill Fulio was already in motion. She said that she didn't understand a lot of his actions that night, like going to two different clubs just to walk away, or speeding through a red light on the way to a random hotel, just to leave a few minutes later. And when she heard shots go off in the distance, she had no idea what had happened.
And again, at that point in time, did you know that anyone had been shot?
No.
Even though you heard gunshots, you didn't know that anyone had been actually shot?
No, they could have been shooting in the air or something.
Alright. Did you know that it had anything to do with Isaiah Chance?
No.
Were you suspicious of anything at that point?
Yes.
Ultimately, it would be up to the jury to decide if they believed Alicia's story or not. But first, both sides presented their closing arguments.
They hunted him, they stalked him, they found him, they targeted him, and they gunned him down. She assisted. She did more than assist. She participated as part of that surveillance team, posing as just normal, everyday people just happening to be walking in a parking lot so that her boyfriend, Isaiah Chance, would not be detected. She is guilty of first-degree premeditated murder as a principal in this case, and she is guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree premeditated murder.
The sword of justice has the ability to save the innocent when used with care and responsibility. When used recklessly, it has the ability to harm the innocent. Alicia Andrews is innocent of every count, every lesser included, every crime that she is on trial for today. Perception is not reality.
After 3 hours of deliberations, the jury came back with a verdict.
We, the jury, find as follows as to count 1, the defendant is guilty of manslaughter, a lesser included offense. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 2, the defendant is not guilty.
The jury concluded that Alicia played a role in Fulio's death, but had no premeditated intent to kill him. Her sentencing was scheduled for December 8, 2025, but has since been delayed after her defense team ousted Judge Michelle Cisco from presiding over her case. They claimed that she exhibited overt hostility towards the defense, repeatedly interrupting counsel, refusing sidebars, and visibly prompting the prosecution during witness examination. Her body language and tone during defense objections have reflected irritation, impatience, and at times even anger, while her treatment of the prosecution has remained differential and uncritical.
Okay, stop. Is there a question on the table?
I'm waiting until, I'm publishing it to the jury, and I'm waiting until it gets to a part that I can ask a question.
Can we get to that part and then you ask the question?
Judge, we put this entire interview yesterday, 1 hour and 22 minutes, without a question. I'm just trying to get to a particular part. I want the jury to see what's happening now, and then I'm gonna ask a question about it.
Great, can we get to that part?
That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay, well, we're not just gonna play it. Can we fast forward to the part? Ms. Herrera, stop. Ms. Herrera, stop. I didn't ask you to talk.
I didn't know how to talk.
Yeah, you do. You do. Stop, Ms. Herrera, you need to stop right now, because you know what? You've been making faces throughout this entire trial. This entire trial, yeah, you have been. And everything's been caught on video.
I know, and also that the court has caught and noticed all of the gestures and the tone which was addressed yesterday to this date. But it's fine, no problem, I will do my best to.
Please, do your best. Yeah, and your attitude is very disrespectful. I'll note for the record.
On January 29, 2026, Judge Kimberly Fernandez was named the new judge on the case. The new date for Alicia's sentencing has yet to be decided. According to online sources, Alicia's co-defendants, Sean Gaithright, Isaiah Chance, Rashad Murphy, and Davion Murphy, are all scheduled to face their own murder trials in April of 2026. Despite many members of ATK claiming their feud with 6 Block is over, the disrespectful music and social media posts haven't stopped, and neither has the violence. There have already been several more murder victims in Jacksonville who are tied to these groups, including the death of Fizzle, another affiliate of ATK, and the death of 7-year-old Breon Allen Jr., a family member of an ATK member.
Duce just loved to have fun. He loved to go outside.
A happy kid that played tag with his cousin Angel.
Duce, I know him since I was even born. Everybody love you.
Our family is torn. Yeah, we lost a 7-year-old innocent child to senseless gun violence. So we may look all right, but we're not okay. We're gonna fight for justice until we take our last breath, because he did not deserve to die that way. God did not call him home. He was killed senseless.
Whether you're a contractor or a master technician, Harbor Freight understands your job depends upon...
October 2nd, 2019, 2 detectives entered the Visalia Mall in California looking for a man named Mr. Stain.
Hi, is Mr. Stain in?
Mr. Stain?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Mr. Stain. My name is Vince Zavala. It's Bob Sodas.
This is 52-year-old Nikki Dwayne Stain, the manager of Charlie's Philly Cheesesteaks. Nick has been hiding a terrible secret for over 2 decades, but he isn't the only one hiding something. After hearing the detectives' names, Nick just realized that his dark past has finally come back to haunt him.
We're doing some grunt work here. We're looking into a matter that happened a while ago. Take 5 minutes. Okay.
Detective Zavala, with his hidden camera still rolling, sat down and showed Nick an old photo of a young woman.
Have you ever seen that girl? No, you don't know her? Okay. You've never committed any violence against her? No, I haven't anything. I don't know her, so I wouldn't know how to. Yeah. So have you never committed violence against anybody? No violence against anybody. Her name was Debbie Dorian. She was found murdered. You didn't kill her, did you? No.
Nick continued to deny any involvement in this murder. However, he was extremely standoffish when he was asked to provide his DNA.
We've been asking everybody we talked to if they would voluntarily give us an oral swab to compare to evidence. That's at the scene, but if you haven't been there, I mean, you know, it's just kind of a mundane thing.
Yeah, it sounds like, I don't know, that sounds like, I don't want to do that.
Clearly, he didn't plan on cooperating, so the detectives ended the interview and Nick kindly escorted them outside. He chatted with them for a bit longer and wished them luck with their investigation.
Yeah, I hope we do catch the guy. Thank you. Have a good day.
But the detectives had one last secret. The entire building was surrounded by officers.
357 to the arrest team, stand by.
Thank God his ass.
Nicky Stain.
Hi.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your arm up.
Nick pretended he had no idea what was going on as he was handcuffed and put into the back of a police cruiser. Months before this arrest, Fresno and Tulare County authorities reopened the murder case of 22-year-old Debbie Dorian, which had remained unsolved for 23 years.
Go ahead, ma'am. My husband just called and went to a third apartment. She didn't show, and he found her dead in her apartment. Okay, tell me what you guys seen this. Her name is Deborah Dorian.
Family members and neighbors say Debbie Dorian, a Fresno State student, worked hard and had plans to specialize in audiology. According to police, Debbie's dad found her body in her bedroom early this morning.
She was lying face up. Her mouth and nose had been taped shut with some gray-colored tape that prevented her from breathing.
Using the killer's DNA collected from Debbie's body, they constructed a family tree, and through the process of elimination, they were able to pinpoint exactly who the DNA belonged to. This led them to Nick, a 52-year-old divorced father of 2 and a longtime resident of Visalia. After escorting him to the police department, they sat down for an interview, hoping to elicit a confession and expose this wolf in sheep's clothing. However, before they could even ask him about Debbie, Nick immediately caught them off guard by confessing to another set of horrific crimes.
Nick, do you know why you're here today?
Yeah, I do know why I'm here. I know I've done a couple things that here in Visalia that I shouldn't have done.
So when you say a couple things in Visalia, what are the couple things that you're talking about?
Oh, there's a couple times that I approached women out on the street that they know and stuff and coerced them into having some final. And so those are things I shouldn't have done.
Against your will?
Yes.
The detectives pulled up their reports from the crimes they suspected Nick was referring to and read them to him one by one, trying to corroborate his confession.
Suspect pulled the sweatshirt over his face and then placed handgun in her side. He escorted the victim and concealed their location behind some bushes.
That might happen. I think that might happen.
She was standing there alone waiting to catch a bus. Suspect approached the victim. Suspect told the victim not to run or he would kill her.
I'll say that sounds like me, but I don't think that was me.
Nick took full responsibility for 4 separate assaults and showed no signs of remorse.
Do you recall what you wore during those?
I recall wearing a hoodie that said something like that.
When they asked Nick why he would commit such vile crimes, he said that his past trauma had led him down the wrong path.
So, I kind of had some bad things that go on in my life, and I'd say that I've had a problem with I guess, there's addiction. If you have my phone, you'll be able to see that because it has like 400 videos on it. So probably 100 different women.
Nick's addiction resulted in a strange lifestyle where everything he did revolved around getting attention from women. This is evident when looking at his digital footprint. The detectives found his secret Facebook profile under the alias Nick Steele, the chairman of a Fortune 500 company who lived a lavish lifestyle, drinking and partying with a multitude of women. Nick would often invite these women back to his place and lead them to his bedroom, which he had converted into what some may call a playroom.
I had saw pictures of those types of dark rooms on the internet. I said I wanted to paint it that way. Now everybody can see this.
Nick admitted that these women were mostly escorts. Apparently, he had been paying for these services ever since he was in high school.
But I had so many encounters with women. I'm talking about like paid for encounters or this or that, or like start chatting with them and all next thing we know we're doing something. So I don't really think that hiring an escort or having a sugar babe or anything like that, I personally don't think that that's a wrong thing. I'm a single guy for the last few years, and it seems like really the only women that pay me any attention are the younger ones.
After telling the detectives all about his promiscuous lifestyle, he finally addressed the main reason he was there.
The detectives there today before you guys arrested me, you bring up an interesting case. One that, it does shock me.
Although Nick initially claimed he had no clue who Debbie was.
Have you ever seen that girl? No. You don't know her?
He must have had a change of heart after being thrown into the interrogation room, because Nick now claimed that he did in fact know Debbie quite intimately.
I was with that girl, several times and stuff like that. You were? Yes, I was. So, to be honest with you, she was, I picked her up in the restaurant there on the street there at one time. After I dropped her off, I thought that was going to be the last time I seen her. Okay. And then she, found her way to my workplace, on other occasions and asked me if I, would want to again.
This was the first time that the detectives had heard of Debbie having a secret double life as an escort. The question is, does the evidence align with this story? And if Nick didn't murder Debbie, then who did? Before Debbie was murdered back in 1996, she was trying to find someone to split her rent with and had a list of potential